The year is 1991. An 11-year-old girl woke up one morning to a day that would forever change her whole life. This was the day when her father left. Her parents had been fighting for months. Anyone could have seen it coming, but not her. She went to bed every night praying that when she'd wake up next morning, things would be back to the way they used to be. That the walls of her room would no longer have to muffle blows and punches. That their corridor would stop reverberating loud, bitter insults. That her home would stop feeling like a war zone. And that they once more would share dinner together like any other ordinary family. That she'd go back to being just another 11-year-old kid. That day she learned that prayers don't work. To her 11-year-old mind, her father's abandonment felt worse than death. See, while death is mostly involuntary, abandonment felt like a premeditated crime, deliberate and cruel. She learned that emotions were a destructive force, that feelings are like bombs that go off and have the power to blast away everything that you once held dear in just a split second. That emotions are dangerous and are better kept under wraps where no one can find them. That day she took a decision. She made a commitment that many of you watching this have implicitly made again and again. The commitment to never allow emotions to rule your life. That girl is me. And that story is my story. The reason I'm sharing it with you, that's because that's the beginning of this journey called Shift Happens. My journey towards emotional intelligence and transformational coaching. Like many of you, I have become an avid advocate of logic and reason. I dedicated my life to the pursuit of knowledge and career, and that has worked well to some degree. We have logic and reason to thank for some of our successes in life, but what I soon came to realize is that being industrious is not the same as being effective. Accomplishments don't bring sustainable fulfillment, and success does not equate with satisfaction. 20 years later, that life strategy has led to a burnout. I became another statistic on this unsettling epidemic. On my path to recovery, I spent over a year on finding the golden mean between two extremes. Because that 11-year-old girl, you see, she was right. Emotions are like atomic bombs. If you're reckless with them, they explode. If you repress them, they implode. Striking a balance between these two vices is what ultimately brings us the fulfillment that we all seek. So I dedicated my work to helping others develop their emotional intelligence, to cultivating emotional congruency and sustainability for individuals, organizations, and teams. In this video series, I'll help expel some myths around emotional intelligence and share with you some concrete tools that you can use to leverage EQ to power your creativity, for example, your life and your work. So go ahead, hit follow or subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.